Welcome in, courageous soul. I'm really glad you're here. This is a space for the woman who thinks deeply, feels things strongly, and has spent a long time making herself smaller so others feel more comfortable. I'm Tammy McCrory, and this is UnShrinking You. Come in. You're exactly who I made this for. If you found this episode, I'm guessing something I've posted caught you, and I don't think that's an accident. So let me just start there with a thing most people don't say out loud. If you're the one everyone relies on, but you still can't switch off, even when nothing is wrong, this episode is specifically for you. Not for the woman who's visibly falling apart. Not for the woman in crisis. For the woman whose life looks completely fine from the outside and who cannot figure out why she still can't rest. That's who I made this for. Most women in this pattern assume it means they're anxious or that they need better stress management, a meditation practice, journaling, more yoga. And when those things don't work long term, they quietly start to wonder if something is just wrong with them. I want to offer you a completely different explanation. You're capable. You handle things. You don't fall apart easily. You're the one people go to. The one who keeps things steady. Who notices what needs to be done and just does it. Without being asked. Without making a fuss. And your life from the outside probably looks fine. Maybe even good. But internally, your system never fully switches off. Even when you sit down to rest, your mind is still running, thinking ahead, replaying a conversation from earlier, anticipating what might be needed tomorrow. And there's often this subtle feeling, and see if this sounds familiar, that relaxing is slightly irresponsible. Like you don't quite deserve it yet. Like there's still something you should be doing. The guilt rushes in and it sounds like, I don't have time for this. If I don't handle it, it won't get done. And if I sit here, I'm just going to be thinking about everything I'm not doing. If you just felt something land in your chest, stay with me. Because what I want to show you today isn't that you're anxious or broken or doing something wrong. What I want to show you is the pattern. Most women I work with already know something feels off. They've read the books. They understand burnout. They've heard about nervous system regulation. But what they haven't seen yet, and this is the part that changes everything, is how this pattern is actually operating in their specific life. Not in general, but in their marriage, in their friendships, in the way they move through a Tuesday afternoon. Because this isn't a mindset issue. It's not that you're thinking the wrong thoughts. Here's what actually happened. Your nervous system learned something. It learned that being responsible, being the one who handles things, who stays steady, who keeps everything moving, is what keeps everything safe. So it adapted. It learned to stay on, to anticipate, to manage, to hold everything together. Not because something is wrong with you, but because it worked. It kept things functioning. It kept people okay. It kept life moving forward. And a lot of women are actually rewarded for this, professionally especially. You get praised for being reliable, for being the one who comes through, for not needing too much, which just reinforces the pattern further. But over time, And this is the shift I want you to hear. Something changes. Performance quietly replaces power. You're still functioning, still capable, still doing everything you need to do. But it starts to feel heavier because you are never fully off duty. And no one sees that because from the outside, you still look like you're handling everything. This is what I call the strong woman pattern. And I want to invite you to do something right now, just for a moment. Just notice, where in your life are you the one holding everything together? When was the last time you felt genuinely off duty? Not just physically still in one spot, but actually off. And what does staying on all the time actually cost you? Those questions feel a little uncomfortable. You're probably inside this pattern. Here's the thing that matters most. I don't want you to miss this. Awareness shows you the pattern exists, but awareness alone doesn't show you how it's specifically operating in your life, in your relationships, in your body, in the exact moment your system shifts into that always on state. And that's why trying to fix it on your own, even when you understand it, doesn't really stick. Because you're inside the pattern while you're trying to see it. You're too close to it. You can't see the edges from the middle. So the next step isn't more information, it's clarity. It's seeing your pattern clearly, specifically, in real time, in your actual life. I'm Tammy McCrory. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and I spent years working with exactly this, the pattern where strong, high-functioning women become the one everyone relies on, who can't switch off and feels guilty when she rests. And what I do in the UnShrinking session is map this precisely, not in a general way, precisely for you. It's a private 30-minute diagnostic session where we look at where you're overperforming instead of being fully in your power. How this pattern shows up in your relationships and your daily life. In the exact moment your system shifts into vigilance, into that always-on state. Something happens in that process that I want you to know about before you decide anything. You don't just understand the pattern intellectually. You feel the difference between staying on and what steady actually feels like in your body. That contrast is real. And once you feel it, you know exactly what you're working toward. You leave with a clear map of your pattern, language for what's been feeling off, a felt sense of what steady actually is, not as a concept, but in your body. And a few simple ways to start interrupting the pattern in your real life. This isn't about fixing you. You're not broken. Again, you're not broken. It's about seeing clearly so you can stop carrying something you were never meant to hold all the time. If you've been listening to this and thinking, yes, this is me, yep, that recognition is usually the moment. The link to book your UnShrinking session is in the show notes. It's $97. I open a limited number each month. And if it feels like the right next step, I'll see you there. If it's not the right moment yet, that's okay too. Even just hearing this pattern named can start to shift something. Either way, you don't have to keep holding everything together on your own. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.